try to communicate and trust people. 28 hours with three different trains. My phone died in the middle of exploring the area. They took me a tuk-tuk and they paid the tuk-tuk to get me to the hotel.
Wow.
Taste different type of food. The people are very warm hearts.
Hello everyone, welcome to our new episode show. I'm Jay and this is Girafa podcast show. Today I'm so happy to have one of our new friend Yusuf with us. He's gonna talk about his journey to some countries. So I'm not gonna wait him for a while. So hello Yusuf, welcome.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for having me. I'm here to explain my very exciting trip in Asia.
Thank you so much. First of all, it would be better if we know you more. Could you please introduce yourself and then we will talk about your journey?
Yes, sure. My name is Yusuf. I'm 33 years old. I love traveling. I traveled to more than 10 different countries. First of all, I saw different cities in Iran because I'm Iranian. And then I decided to go outside my country and see the neighbors, the other Asian countries, and maybe next time I will go to another continent. But I want to see new places, learn from new cultures, and in this during 10 years, I try to enjoy my life.
Thank you. I'm going to start my question with why you like or you love trip. What's the reason?
I think, I think the life is traveling. I mean, when you travel, you can explore new places and even know yourself. Just imagine when you travel from point A to point B, or maybe from one house to another house, or just in a bigger scale from one city to another city. This is the life that you face it every day or every week. So in this perspective, you can see your life as a travel. So I'm living like that. And the most important point for me is seeing new places, communicate with new people, learning from new experiences that I will have. So I want to travel.
Do you remember when was your first trip to the out of Iran, and how old were you, and also which country was your destination?
I think when I was at the university about maybe 6-7 years ago, I went to Armenia and Georgia with my friends. It was a very short trip, about 7 days long. We stayed in a somehow hostels and hotels. 3 days in Armenia, Yerevan, the capital, and also 3 days in Georgia. And then after 1 year, I went to Azerbaijan, another country in the north of Iran. These are the three countries that I went about 7 years ago.
When you are going to somewhere, it's new, except the people. I mean, about what was your first interesting you faced with that one? What was interesting for you? Because most of the time you were in your country, and now you can see different people, different countries. And which one was more interesting for you?
For me, facing to new problems, new people, new challenges is makes me excited.
Mm-hmm.
When I went to Armenia, most of the people knew my language, the Persian, and also the English, the international language. But in some rural places, outside of the big cities,
Mm-hmm.
I had a very big challenge to communicate with people because I didn't know the language.
Okay.
And these are the things that try to make you more, mature. So the challenges always are good, I think, in this area at least.
Okay. So according to the information I have, you have two type of I put it into two different category. With the first one, when you were younger, still you are young, but when you were younger, and then recently you had some trip to the India, Nepal, and Sri Lanka, I think. Yes. So
Yes, exactly true.
yeah, I'm gonna start with some question about the first group when you were young. Do you remember as a young people when you were in a different country? What was the most challenging you faced?
The most challenging part for traveling, especially for me, because I'm a somehow solo traveler,
Mm-hmm.
uh, is in my country, in Iran, is to be safe. You should feel safe in your
Yes.
travel.
Mm-hmm.
So you should have the right equipment in your backpack for the challenging night or day that you're gonna face. So maybe being safe is one of the priorities. And the second one is the money, the budget you have to manage some financial
Mm-hmm.
issues.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe the third one is uh, the places that you want to go, you should know them before. In usually in all my trips, I try to have enough information for
Mm-hmm.
my travel. So knowing the place, or maybe the renting the houses or the hostel, the hotel that you are going to stay, it's going to be very important as a one element in your travel plan.
Mm-hmm.
These are the first, elements that each person should pay attention to them.
So you're a person. You're that type of the person. You're going with your backpack. You're not going with
Yes,
a
true.
suit. It's because when we talk about the normal trip, okay, I have a suit, so I'm gonna put something like that. I'm going to the hotel or something. But you are the backpack guy. So we have a picture from your backpack. Is it okay if we want to share it and you can explain?
Yeah, sure, please.
This is your backpack, yes? The part of
Yes,
it.
that's right.
Okay, can you explain it's what do you have? What do we need in our backpack?
The first important point here is this backpack is ready for a long travel. So, for a small travel, like for example, 1 week to go to the jungle as a
Mm-hmm.
camper, you don't have to put all the things like this in your backpack. But
Mm-hmm.
for going to another continent or another country for more than 1 month, maybe you should uh, take more tools. As you can see, there are two backpacks on the picture.
Mm-hmm.
The big one, the black one, is the one that I carried always on my shoulder. It's about 50-liter volume, and the small one, the blue one, it's for just walking around the city in the streets, or
Okay.
maybe just going outside. The most important tools that I always carry is my tent,
Oh,
the blue one on the
yes.
top, because in many places I want to camp and stay at night in the jungle or a place safe. So I should carry one. And because I should work in my travels, I always carry my laptop and digital
Mm-hmm.
things like my charger, my headphones. But another things that you can see is my clothes, and I have my sleeping bag. It's a very compressed one, and it's very light. I can move it wherever I want to go. It's not very heavy, and the very small back box of blue one is my first aid kit, the
Uh-huh.
most
Mm-hmm.
important one. Whenever I go to, even in one day trip, I will carry this first aid kit. It has all the necessary tools, for example, the nails, the peels, everything that related. If I going to be injured, maybe I'm ready for that. And that's it. Yeah.
Um, I have a question about you about the backpack. So we have a
Mm-hmm.
different type, size, and when maybe, as you said, different. Yeah, it's gonna be the size or different liters. So how we should know that which one is suitable for us?
For me, because of the all things that I should carry, I choose the one that it should be the flexible one. So I didn't choose, for example, something like a suitcase or something that I cannot carry, especially in the transportation um, from from the airport to the city, or maybe from this hotel to that hotel. So I choose the backpack that I can carry, and it has a lot of space to put my stuff in outs of the backpack,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and in the inside.
Okay.
Um, the points that we should pay attention to the choosing the right backpack is the volume of that, the trip that were going to go, and maybe the quality,
Mm-hmm.
because the price of some backpacks, especially nowadays, are very expensive. But it's worth it sometimes because you want to travel to another place, and these are your whole life that you are carrying in your on your shoulder. So yeah.
Okay. So, and also except that one, you have in smaller one. For example, when you go to your, I don't know, the room, you're gonna put the big one and then take the small one, and then when you are going, so it's gonna
Yeah,
be.
yeah, exactly. When I want to go, for example, I will put the big backpack in the hotel or hostel, and then take the blue one to the just go to outside and see the city, or maybe
Mm-hmm.
go hanging around. It's a very small one, and I can carry my wallets, my I don't know, headphones, some special tools that maybe I will need it in that day or night. That's it.
Because it's very important, as you mentioned, because it's gonna be the only friend during your trip, so it's very important you can have a very good backpack. Uh, as a person, you choose the backpack. I mean, not kind of the suit. What's the difference between when you someone's going with a backpack? I mean, not it's a kind of a metaphor, that when you go with a backpack or with a suit. Uh, what's the difference between these trips? The backpack trip
Uh,
or the suit?
I think it depends on the trips, because as you know, for example, we have different kind of trips. The first one is the business trip that you are going for work. The second one is the trip that you are going to have fun. So it's going to be a very special trip to be just enjoy your trip.
Mm,
And maybe another, the third one is just you want to travel just to go another place. That's it. Maybe you work another country or another city, and
Okay.
then you want to move to another place.
Before we're going to talk about specific trips, how usually you're going to prepare yourself for a trip?
It's a very good question. Before I want to explain my journey to the some countries that I had, I should mention that I prepare myself with some small trips, especially in my country, Iran. Um, First, before my trip started, I went to Lorestan, one of the province in Iran. I traveled for 3 days and tried to challenge myself to
Mm-hmm.
see another place and somehow uh, communicate with different people to see how it's going on, how it's going to manage my money, maybe. And then after that, I went to a hitchhike trip. I went to, first of all, Bushehr, one of
Mm-hmm.
the big cities in south of the Iran. And from Bushehr to Bandar Abbas, it's about more than 400 kilometers. I did it in 7 days as a hitchhike trip, just standing near the highways and streets, just like that, to someone pick me up and travel like a hitchhiker.
Mm-hmm.
These are the preparation for me to do the very big travel that I had.
So you mean you before you want to go out of the country, you start inside of the country for practice and communicate with the people and challenge yourself, and then you decide to go. Okay, now I can go outside.
Yeah, I had a plan to go outside the country. I did it as a very long plan
Mm-hmm. But for prepare
with a lot
yourself.
of details. Exactly. I should know my capacity to know how is difficult to manage this trip.
Mm-hmm. That's an interesting thing because usually when I say, okay, I want to go, for example, India. Okay, let's go India. But it was very interesting. I think you are the first one. You say something. Okay, first I will go there and communicate with my people and say, okay, can you do that? Maybe no, we can do the more step. But it's interesting. So you talked about the backpack and practicing yourself or challenge yourself. Uh, Now I'm gonna start asking about your trip. So you had a trip to India, the first of all. Uh, yes, India. You're gonna talk about India,
The first one is Sri Lanka.
Sri
Actually,
Lanka.
I went. Yeah, this is the first country that I went. The four country that I chose is based on the how easily can get the visa and
It
maybe the
was my
permission
question.
to
How
enter
did you?
that.
Okay, so
Yeah,
thank you.
yeah, exactly. I
Okay.
know that you were gonna ask that. Because for Iranian people, it's somehow very difficult to see other countries, especially in Europe, because of the process of the getting the visa. So I choose four different countries that I can easily travel. The first one is Sri Lanka, that you can enter to this country by only a stamp on the airport. So it's very easy. You should only pay. In that time, about 6 7 years ago, I only paid $40
And
to
for how
just
long?
enter the. For you can stay about 90 days for the
Mm.
first entry. It's okay for that. And it was a very easy one. But for the India, the second country, I should get a visa for that one. So I went to the embassy in Indian embassy in Iran, and I paid about 300,000 dirhams, and I got my visa. And other countries, I mean, the Nepal and Malaysia, it was easy. Just like
Mm.
a stamp and a sticker in my visa. That's it. Yeah.
Okay. Can you say for how long they give you their visa?
Usually the entrance for Asian country is about between 30 to 90 days. You can travel easily with no problems.
Mm-hmm.
For India, my visa was valid for about, I think, 60 days. I'm not
60
sure,
days. Mm-hmm.
but 60 days. But for Malaysia, it's a good connection between Iran and Malaysia, and you can just go to the Malaysia with only an stamp, no money. I mean, you should not pay, and you can stay 14 days. After 14 days, you can have a sticker on your passport, and you should pay, I don't know, about $30-40.
Mm. And how long is going to take it the time for processing for apply for the visa? For example, for India or so.
For India, when I wanted to get my visa, it took about 1 week. So
Mhm.
easy. Just it was a very easy process because it's gonna be a travel to see the country as a tourist. So it didn't took long, but yeah, that's it.
Okay. Because it's good to know that how long it's gonna be. Sometimes you manage to go, but it's gonna take a time to give you they're gonna give you the visa, so maybe you're gonna waste your days. Have you ever been in the group or not?
Yes. I travel with my groups and my friends actually. I went to Georgia and Armenia with my friends, and I love traveling with my friends and my in a group or maybe in a tour because it's another excitement and you can enjoy with your friends as a group. It's even more enjoyable. You have more time to have fun,
Mm-hmm.
and you can go to some places that you will not go by yourself maybe.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I experienced this one too, but most of the time I prefer to travel solo because my work is somehow being as a freelancer, so I have more time than my friends, so I can
Uh-huh.
travel more than them. So that's the point, especially in this area.
Okay. Do you believe that there's old or that they say that if you want to know someone, go to the trip with him or with her?
It's a good experience, yes, but it depends. It depends on the situation. It depends on the a friend or the partner that you want to travel with him or her. Um, for example, just imagine if you want to travel just for 1 day, go to the north of Iran, like Mazandaran, Nosha, or something like this, and to know each other or have fun for 1 or 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
But it cannot be a good idea to go on a trip to one of the islands in the south of the Iran for five or maybe 1 week. Uh, it depends, I think.
How usually you are choosing if you want to go at the trip? How usually you are choosing your group? What is more important for you?
For choose for choosing a group, it's very important to know each other. I think going to travel with a stranger, I prefer not. Maybe I should prepare. I don't know. I'm not the person who buy a ticket for a tour to go a place
Mm-hmm.
because I know
Mm-hmm.
the places. All the information is in the internet. I should just search them, know them, plan them, and then go. That's it. But if I want to go with my friends or a group, I will just call them, have some appointment to figure it out, and then yeah, we will go.
What was the word for that one? You were just staying to the road and start to just ask the people.
Hitchhiking.
Hitchhiking and
Yes.
also
Hitchhiking.
yeah,
Yes.
and also couch surfing. How does it feel?
Yes, I know. Yep. It's two different things. Hitchhiking means when someone pick you up, and it's a very special experience. because sometimes it's not very safe. You should pay
Exactly.
attention to the driver and knowing the some points. For example, uh, be familiar with the number of plates for each car. Maybe you should not take some cars with only one passengers. Maybe as a family, it's a better idea to have two with them. As a just hitchhike from one city to another city. But couch surfing is something else. When you want to go to another place and stay one night or 2 nights in the house or in the room. So you should somehow, there is a website for that one, couch surfing, that you can register and find people as a host, and you will be the guest, and you can just go in that in their places and
Mm-hmm.
stay 1 or 2 nights as a guest, and maybe they can be a day host. They will not
Mm-hmm.
actually provide you a place to stay. They can host you to show the places, be with you at the day to know the place.
Mm-hmm.
And this is something like it's called couch surfing. I had this experience twice. One of them was in the Sri Lanka, and
Mm-hmm.
another one was in the Malaysia. Actually, if you want, I can explain more.
Sure, sure. Because I asked this one because you mentioned about the knowing the people. When I have a plan to go with a group, I need to know them. But these two type of the activity, they are totally different way. So you are going to a car that you don't know. You're going to the house that you don't know. Because of that, I try to find that it's a little tricky question. So you are the same
These are the
person?
challenges that
Yeah,
I
yeah,
wanted to experience.
yeah, yeah.
I try to, experience all new things that I'm very curious to,
Mm-hmm.
try different ways to travel, or maybe know you should use all the opportunities. So, for example, when I was in Sri Lanka, uh, I found a guy who hosted me for one night. He was a student in one of the big cities.
Mm-hmm.
He offered me his room for one night. So I went to his university and I stayed in his room for one night, and it was a very good experience because I was traveling, and during that plan that I had, I should uh, stay for one night. So he offered me that. So
Mm-hmm.
I tried to know him, and he introduced me to other students. I I stayed with one student in Sri Lanka that I didn't know. So
It's
being
weird.
uh, yeah, yeah, it's weird, but you should try to communicate and trust people,
Mm-hmm.
because trust is a very important thing to communicate and knowing people. When we cannot trust people, you will be alone. It's not possible. No.
Yeah, it's a very important key. Trust. When you can trust, you can go. Let's start with the first country. You send us some picture from that trip. Yes, you said that first. The
Yeah.
first one. Yes. Okay, let's start with. This is the first one. Yes.
Yes, this is the actually this is Colombo.
Mm-hmm.
It was the capital of Sri Lanka. I stayed in the first country, Sri Lanka, for 13 days.
Mm-hmm.
All my stays in each country was 13. I don't know, maybe it's a lucky number for me. I don't know,
Yeah. Yeah.
but Yeah, but this is the place that, as you can see, it's a very beautiful beach
Hmm.
with the special trees because it's very hot in there.
Okay.
Actually, Sri Lanka is a very big island in the south of India, and in the middle of this island, the height of the height is very high. So in the surrounding of island, you can see the very hot weather with beach and super fun. But in the middle of the island, the weather is somehow cold, and you can
Okay.
experience two different somehow weather in a
Hmm.
same country, and it was very interesting. But this one, it was fantastic.
And this is the second one, still in the Sri Lanka. Yes.
Yeah, this is exactly the middle of the island.
Hmm.
I forgot the name of the city, but it was a very touristic place to see. It was actually a tunnel, as you can see in the picture, and the people, maybe usually the tourists, going to a special position to see when the trains come to, to record the picture of
Oh,
this one.
okay.
Yeah, it's called, I remember, it's called Nine Bridge. It's a bridge that built many years ago, and it's the two ways train lane for this one. The one is just, you can see the it's coming, and maybe at night another train just coming back, and it's a very beautiful place to see because in the middle of the island, the country, it's very green, and yeah, it was
Can
fantastic to
you can
see.
you can you tell us more information about the Sri Lanka? How is the weather? You said that about the weather, but how is the culture, the people, and this type of the information?
Yeah, sure. First of all, about the driving, the cars are like UK and Japan.
Oh, is it the
They
left,
drove.
right side?
Yeah, it's right side
Yes.
exactly, and also in India, and also in Nepal and in Malaysia, all of them are the same. They drive in the right side.
Hmm.
I think it's left side. Yeah,
The
yeah.
normal
And
car we are sitting in the left. So,
but the driving line for that
aha,
one is in
driving
the
line.
left.
I'm sorry. I thought you
Yeah,
said that the driving part of
yeah,
the car. Sorry, sorry. Yeah, yeah, driving line. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, exactly. And this country, it has a lot of tuk-tuk. It's like India, when you want to take a taxi, a tuk-tuk come to pick you up, and the people are very warm hearts, and they don't speak English very well, but they want to help you, especially when you are in trouble. But it's a very cheap country to travel, by the way, because you can buy anything that you want to eat, or you want to buy, I don't know, going to shopping something. The transportation, you can travel in the country by bus and also by train. It's very accessible and also very cheap.
Mm-hmm.
It was not a very big deal. But the train are not very modern, or I can say they are clean, but not very modern.
When we are going there, what should we do? What we shouldn't do? Sometimes we need to respect. Is there anything special you face with? For example, we know that in India you should respect to the cow. For example, you cannot horn them, you cannot push them, you cannot take them away from the street. Is there anything special in Sri Lanka? Something?
Not very much, but
Mm-hmm.
as a backpack traveler, especially, you should pay attention to the some safety points because robbers are everywhere. So taking care of your phone and
Okay.
some stuff. It's very important. But no, I think the country is like India. If you saw India as a country or a traveler, they are very similar, India and
Hmm.
Sri Lanka. But Sri Lanka is somehow warmer. I think the weather is somehow different. Um, I think if I travel to Sri Lanka in summer, I cannot take the weather because it's gonna be very hot. But you can surf a lot because there are a lot of opportunity to go to beach and just rent a surfboard and just go for surf. The food were
Hmm.
so delicious because it's near to the ocean, and the fish, the quality of fish, but the taste of them were so good. I can see. I can say about some special rice that they have. It's like Indian, or I can say Persian food. They use the similar rice, but maybe sometimes they fried it, not cook it. But it
Ah,
was delicious.
okay. So let's go to the next country. It's gonna be India.
I moved from Sri Lanka to India by airplane, the Air Asia airline.
Hmm.
The first city that I went was Chennai. Chennai is one of the most crowded, or maybe you can say, yeah, the most crowded cities of India. And for me, it was a very shocking moment to see another city that I don't familiar with the culture, the people, because Chennai was so can say crowded. The many the sound was so I can say, yeah, it was so busy actually. The pictures, as you can see, it's one of the streets. It was very, you can say, busy because
Yeah,
motorcycles,
it's full of the
tuk-tuk, many people
motorcycle.
are
Yeah.
walking. But as you can see, the street is clean. It's not very, as sometimes I heard that India is not very clean, it's dirty, something like this. But the people of India, I mean, the Indian people are very clean. The streets, not all of them, but most of them are clean. It depends, actually. I think on the cities. In
Hmm.
some cities, especially the big ones, are clean. Everything is in order. But in some small cities, no, it's not. And it's like it is. This actually the building structures named the Gate of India.
Uh-huh.
It's somehow you can see as a gate to enter to the India, but it's not like that. It's the name of that. It's in near New Delhi. It's another city that I went.
Hmm.
It's a very touristic place to see. It's very beautiful near the ocean. The people are going there maybe every time that they want to just go outside. It cannot be used as a picnic place, but just you can go with your partner or with your family
Uh-huh.
to see the area, have some snack around, and just enjoy the weather, just see the water, and there are too
Mm.
many birds to feed them. Yeah, it was fun.
So, how is India? The food, culture, people.
Okay. First of all, India, like Sri Lanka, is a very cheap country to see, so it's a very good choice to travel.
Hmm.
It's one of the biggest country to visit. When I went to Chennai, if you imagine this is India, I
Hmm.
went to Chennai, the east area, and then I went to the west of India, which was the Goa Island. The It's a very popular place, Goa. From this place to this place, it took about 28 hours with three different trains. The third class one, I mean, very, very busy, very
A lot of
not
people.
clean.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people and the fans from up front, and the second class train, which was okay, you have a seat to have relax, and the mother one that the you can have a meal in your train and you can order food. So it was a very good experience to see, but it was a very big country, so you should have a plan if you want to see some places or some
Okay.
cities back to back.
Mhm.
The food, actually, you have two options in most of the places, especially in an airline or in a train. There are two type of foods: the vegetarian or with meat. You can choose them because not many of the people of India, but we can say maybe one third of them, they prefer to be vegetarian and not
Mhm.
eating meat, but I mean, not completely vegetarian because maybe some of them only use vegetables or something like that, but
Yeah.
some of them using egg or something for the food that not very kind of meat. The food was spicy, not so much, but you can take it. Yeah, I mean, it was good. At least for me, it was a very good experience to taste different type of food with chicken, meat, rice.
Mhm.
I think the most enjoyable one was chai, as we call it in Persian as a chai too, as it's a tea actually, but in the morning in the corner of a street you can find it very easily. It's served with black tea, but with milk
Your
and
meal.
sugar.
Yes.
So
Yes.
it will be very delicious and very tasteful, and it's like just like this.
Mhm.
It was good for have a drink in the morning as
Yeah.
a starter.
Yeah. I have some friend there. The once they try to give me that kind of the milk, and I just explained it's exactly look like our tea, except
Mm-hmm.
instead of the water you're using milk. So they just put the water on the oven, so it start to be boiled, and then they put the tea. But it's better to have that type of the like a tea bag or that kind of the stuff. You can keep the tea inside. It's not gonna be in
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
So then it's gonna be that type of the milk tea, but yeah, it's so delicious, and they are drink it with a lot of sugar, so it's so sweet.
Yeah, yeah, it's
Yeah,
so sweet, but you can, yeah, if
it's
it's
up to
worth it
you.
to try it
Yeah,
once or
yeah,
two.
it's so
Yeah,
delicious.
exactly.
So I just want to explain, if you want to do that, you can do it in your home. So just instead of the water, just using the milk, and it should be so it's so delicious. It's so
Yeah,
delicious.
exactly. I also tried different kind of fruit because it's another country. The weather is different, so you can find different kind of fruit. I found some kind of mango, or another. It was like a dragon fruit.
Hmm.
It was red, but it was so delicious. Something like coconut and we can say pineapple, I don't know, something like this. But it was so delicious to try different kind of fruit in
Hmm.
India. It's worth it. Yeah.
Is there a lot of monkey in India? Because some people that we can see it in some movie, they're walking the street, they're just jumping. Is it real?
The monkey you said?
Yep.
No, I didn't saw it in the street at least. I saw only one elephant in the whole India. I don't know. Maybe I was lucky to see only one, but I saw multiple dogs and multiple cows in
Hmm.
the streets, and the people are very kind to them. They pay attention to not hit them or distract them. So it's one of it's a part of their
Culture,
culture
yeah.
to respect them.
And I
Yeah,
hear that, for
exactly.
example, I hear that when, for example, you are driving at the middle of the street, if the car is sitting on the roads, no, you cannot turn, you cannot push. You should stay, wait,
Yeah,
wait. When he or when the car wants to go away, you can go. That's
yeah, exactly.
what we
Yes,
should
that's
respect to
true.
the culture. Yeah. So how about the people and the culture, especially for from when they have someone from different country?
I had a very good experience
Mm-hmm.
actually, because Indian people want to help you, especially when you are asking them. I was waiting in a bus stop, and I asked one of the people who are standing there to, I want to go, something like this. I want to go to this place. Can you help me? And he explained a lot. I mean, just word by word, just you should go this way and then just turn right and you will find this building and then this one. They want to help tourists or maybe foreign people because they can understand that you are not Indian. So it was good. And another experience that I had in Chennai, I think it was in the fourth day that I was in the Chennai. I went to another part of the city to see the people just walking around, to see the people and streets, just like this. Sometimes I try to be lost in the city to, explore the area. But I don't know how. I forgot my power bank. So my phone died in the middle of exploring the area. So I only knew the name of my hotel. That's it. I didn't access to my GPS because my
Mm,
phone died. So I went to the barber shop to ask, can I use your charger to just charge my phone for 5 minutes to turn it on or something like that? And he said that why not? Yes, sure, please have a seat. And then his brother came. He was a barber styler,
mm,
barber stylist. And they bought me a rice because I didn't have my lunch in that
mm.
time. And they brought me a rice to just welcoming me during that time that my phone just charging. So we had a conversation about half an hour, and then they took me a tuk-tuk, and they paid the tuk-tuk to get me to the hotel.
Wow,
So that was how they come to people. I don't know. I was so
you were
lucky,
lucky that
or
or
yeah,
but it's a good
yeah. But the
feel.
personality,
Mm.
yeah, it was a good feel that Indian people are trying to help you. I saw some, um, I cannot say some bad words,
Maybe noisy people?
but
Yeah,
not in general. Yeah,
yeah,
not in general.
I saw some documentary about the herning in India, and I say, okay, you know that when you are walking in the city, everyone they just turn the car or the cycle, everything. And the reporter asked, why you horn? You say, that's it. This is we should do that. I said, okay, why? Why you? But the road is so, and you can see, even if you push the horn a lot, that car is stuck. I say, we know that, but we should. That's why it's so
Yeah,
noisy.
exactly. Yeah,
Okay, so yeah,
yeah,
it's what
exactly.
is
Yeah.
it's interesting. Uh, Country, and also another one he was talking that because there is a two type of the people there. You are in India, you are poor or you are so rich. That type of the people mostly in India. So there is no in the kind of the middle, uh,
Mhm.
middle level people. You are poor or you are so rich. So it was a documentary about the movie and that kind of the Bollywood in India. They said even if you're so poor, they love to go and watch the movies. Let's
Exactly.
go to the last one. You said it's gonna be the Nepal.
Yes, Nepal, the next destination.
Mm,
I went to Nepal
this is a Nepal or
by
The picture?
Yes, this is
Okay.
Nepal. And from India to Nepal, because they are
In a neighbor, yeah.
just in a neighbor. I went by my foot, just
Oh.
crossing the border, just like that.
Mhm.
I went first of all with bus, and then just
Yeah, yeah.
back there crossing the border. The officer just stick my visa to my passport, just like a sticker, a small sticker with my name, with my
Mhm.
handwriting things, and $40 for 90 days. And I was in India. The first city that I went, it was Kathmandu. Kathmandu is the capital of the Nepal, and Nepal is a country that's just like this. I mean, it's a very long but short
Mhm.
in the side one. The point in Nepal is it was very dusty, So I always try to cover my nose and
Okay.
my mouth.
Okay.
It's not only for me. I mean, the people who live in Kathmandu. I mean, about 80% of them, they try to cover their mouth and the nose because it's very dusty, especially in the summer. So it's a very usual thing. And most of the roads in Kathmandu, the capital one, it's not very constructed. So
Uh-huh.
uh, it's somehow the reason of the dust in the whole area.
So it looks like mostly like a
And
village road.
yeah, exactly. About 90% of the roads are like that. This place is one of the popular places for tourists to see. It's like I can say a place to pray,
Mhm.
but it's very good to see.
For
And
the
it's a
for which
selfie.
religion? Is it for the Muslims or Christian?
No, it's not for neither of them. It's about, I don't know, another religion
Oh,
that they
okay.
have, because
Okay, okay.
in Nepal, you have multiple different religion. One of them is Muslim, one of them is Christian,
Yeah.
another thing is Buddhism.
But
Then they have other religions that I don't know the name.
so this one is not for this the religious we know.
No,
Okay.
I don't think so. Yeah,
Okay.
but that's the story behind this picture.
Mhm. And this is the last
This
picture we
one,
have.
yes, there are two big city in the whole Nepal that most of the people try to see. The first one was the capital Kathmandu, but the second one is Pokhara. Pokhara is a city in another side of the country, and it's more beautiful with a small lake.
Mhm.
And this is somehow one of the streets. And one of the points that you can understand, it's Nepal is the electrical wiring in between the corner of the streets, because wiring in the streets are so messy, as you can
As you can
see.
see in the
You
picture, yeah.
cannot yeah, you cannot recognize which building is this wire, it's something like that. But another point, as you can see in the picture, is the clothes. The clothes of people, the shirts or
Uh-huh.
the jacket they put on, it's very different, because as you can see some t-shirts and also long sleeve shirts. So it's a hot day. I mean, it's a day that you can see the sun and the blue sky.
Mhm. Yeah.
But most of the people try to have a jacket and long sleeve shirts. It depends on their mood, and somehow the weather doesn't recognizable. After 1 hour from this
Mhm.
weather, maybe you will face with a rainy day. So it's not predictable
You must be
at
prepared.
all.
Usually we are asking people to give us some advice about or some tips about the countries, or that you can have some tips about the general when you're going the backpack trip, or if you have some tips about, for example, you said about India because it's very, it's a lot of people, it's a crowded people, so you need to buy a ticket in advance if you want to go somewhere. Do you have that kind of the tips if someone wants to go and visit these
Yes,
countries?
yes, sure. I think the I can start with just go to travel. Traveling is good for everyone, not the family, but you can travel with yourself. I mean, the solo as a solo.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter you are a girl or boy, woman or man. You can travel, but just pay attention to some safety points. It's reasonable to know them. Um, right now, maybe one of the most popular place to go or travel is Turkey because
Yeah.
it's very nearby to Iran for Iranian people. But if you can manage the money that you have and you're saving it, you can go to another places like Sri Lanka or India because they are very nearby and travel by airplane with somehow reasonable price. And
Mm-hmm.
it's very different with new people, new culture, even with new different, uh, the environments. So uh, it's worth it to see another countries that very accessible for
Mm.
especially Iranian people. And I can say about the maybe the foods because Indian foods are very popular around the world to order and having them because they are very different. Uh, you cannot have Indian food in your country, because
Mm.
it's not like that. And yeah, I think exploring the area and just searching in TripAdvisor website to see what places that you can see in your plan. It's going to be a very good and logical way to just travel.
It was a very interesting point. You said I'm gonna put it into just one sentence. It's don't stuck in one country, even if it's so close. So just you can try to and find another one. Gonna be so different because yeah, sometimes say, oh, I like Italy, I like Spain, I like Turkey, so let's go there. So just try to do something else because we have different country in the same situation. Maybe we can visit. Thank you so much, Yusuf, for your time and
You're
sharing
welcome.
your interesting information and experience. It was so interesting for me, and I hope our viewers enjoy that too. And if they have a plan to go and visit these countries you mentioned, maybe your advice can help them. I'm gonna say thank you to the people that are watching us, and please subscribe Girafa podcast in YouTube. And if you are a person that you have an interesting story, just contact us and we will invite you. Thank you again, Yusuf, and I hope to see you soon in our podcast. Thank you
Thank you
so
so much.
much. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.